Dear friends, the monastic will offer some chants and also it will come to question and answer. But to enjoy really the chant and the talk, could you please put off your cell phone? S'il vous plaît, éteindre votre portable. Xin có người Việt nào mà ngồi ở trong thì có điện thoại cầm tay xin tắt giùm.
Contemplations before chanting. The Sangha is invited to go back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness will bring us together as an organism, going as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, chant as one body, listen as one body, and transcend the boundaries of a delusive self, liberating from the superiority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex.
Perfect understanding.
No mental formations of consciousness, no
Maya Pranya Paramita
Mời lên, mời lên. Good morning, dear Sangha. Do you hear me well enough? Lớn hơn chút nữa cơ. Respire, je me calme. Respire, je souris. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Good morning, dear Sangha. Today is the 1st of August in the year 2013. And we are in the Assembly of Stars Meditation Hall of Lower Hamlet, Plum Village. Today we have a session of questions and answers. And the children will have the chance to ask a few questions, maybe 5. And then the teenagers will have their turn to ask the questions. And then the young adults and the rest of us. The French translation has some problem. Ça va maintenant? La traduction française, ça va maintenant? Pas encore? Ça va? Non? There is a cloud in my tea, and I am drinking my cloud happily. Ça va? Pas encore? On peut commencer? Ai dịch ở tiếng Pháp này? Sư cô Trung Nghiêm à? Sư Nghiêm Tăng Tâm Muội. Ça va? Très bien. The children will have the chance to ask their questions, maybe 5. And then the teenagers, and then young adults, and after that the rest of us adults. And we know that a good question always benefit many people. And that is why we shall ask only the question of our heart. A question that has to do with our practice. The question that has to do with our suffering, happiness, difficulties. And those of us who have such a question are invited to come up here and sit with Thầy, around Thầy. And they will take turn to sit on that chair so that everyone can see him or her. And the tradition is that before we ask a question, we breathe in deeply 3 times with the sound of the bell. Everyone is breathing together so that we can create that powerful collective energy of mindfulness and peace that help everyone. You may ask your question in French, or English, or Vietnamese, or German. And if you ask your question in Chinese or Spanish, and then you have to bring your own translator. And you can also write down your question and ask someone to bring it to Sister Pine sitting here. And from time to time she will read one of these questions. So those children who have a question are invited to come and sit close to Thầy. And then the teenagers and young adults and adults. Remember, one person can only ask one question. Une personne, une question seulement. We already have more than 5 children. Let us listen to the bell and breathe together. Breathing in. I know I am still in the retreat and the Sangha is there. Breathe out, I smile to the Sangha. This is the first question.
Hoe kan ik ervoor zorgen dat ik en mijn broer niet meer zoveel ruzie hebben?
Dear Thai, what can I do that my brother and me don't argue that much anymore?
What can I do?
My brother doesn't hurt me anymore?
No, we fight, we argue.
Repeat.
What can I do so that my brother and I don't hurt each other anymore? Fighting and arguing. Yeah, so dear Thai, our friend wants to know, what can I do so that my brother and I don't hurt each other anymore with fighting and arguing?
We know that when we fight, both of us suffer. That's very clear. Not only the big brother suffers, but also the young brother suffers. We know that. So I suggest that when you have a good time together, suppose you have a time to sit together and each one is holding an ice cream and eating happily, you should take good use of that good moment to discuss. Hey brother, shall we discuss a little bit about fighting each other? Because you know that when we fight, we suffer both. So what do you think we can do in order to avoid these moments? Because that moment will happen soon, maybe in a few hours. And then your brother will agree because he knows that when he fights you, not only you suffer, but he suffers. So when we have a good time together, we invite each other to discuss a little bit as how to avoid that kind of fighting. That is called a Dharma discussion, Dharma sharing between you and your brother. And then your mother or your father can be there in order to help. They may have ideas. So after 10 minutes of discussion, you may sign a peace treaty. Peace treaty between big brother and young brother. You sign a peace treaty as how to, and in the peace treaty there are a few sentences, a few rules that you and your brother have to observe, to respect. And then solemnly, you and your brother will sign the peace treaty in the presence of your father, your mother, maybe the Buddha, and other friends. Maybe you can invite some of your friends, and you organize a ceremony of signing the peace treaty between you and your brother. You invite them over for tea, for cookies, and you tell them that you are going, you and your brother, to sign a peace treaty so that you won't fight each other anymore. They will be very interested because they may have the same problem. And then you read aloud the peace treaty, number 1, number 2, number 3, the kind of practices that help you to refrain from starting a fight. And this is meditation. You can do it with your brother and with the help of your mother and father if you want. Here in Plum Village we do that all the time. The monks, nuns, the lay people, they meet every week and they discuss how to maintain peace and harmony and brotherhood so that our life will be pleasant, happy, so that we can help many people. So if you and your brother are happy, you will be able to help other boys in the neighborhood. So after having read aloud this peace treaty, you explain to them that you have discussed among yourself and with the help of your parents, and you have arrived at this kind of conclusion. These are practices that help you not to start a fight again. And then you ask everyone to be silent, to be breathing in and out while you and your brother you sign on the peace treaty. Peace treaty. Yeah. So please go home and try. Good luck. We support you. Okay. That's a good question.
Hoe zorg ik ervoor dat ik op school niet meer zo gestrest raak door de tijd?
Dear Thai, what can I do that I don't get stressed too much at school from time?
Dear Thai, what can I do so that I don't get too stressed in school about time?
About time. Good question. I think we have to tell that to our teacher, school teachers, and to tell that to our parents. You have the right to do so. You can go to your school teacher and you ask that question and ask for help. You also go to your father, your mother and ask that question. They may not have the answer right away, but they go think about that. It's very important that they think about that. The teachers, they may also have a lot of stress themselves, so they go understand. So the first thing is that you arrange so that one day you have a chance to tell your teacher and to ask him or her that question. And you can do, and you can talk to your friends also about this. You can talk to your classmates because many of them feel like you. Yeah. So you may sit down with them and discuss how to do that. Because the teachers and the parents can help, but you can help also. So you sit down with your friends in the class and you discuss how can we deal with the problem of stress. How can we have the time to enjoy ourselves, how to have the time to relax and not to worry too much about the work in school. And those of you who have come to Plum Village for 1 week or 2, you have learned something. Learned something. You have learned from the monks, the nuns, and other practitioners. You know, the monks and the nuns here, they have a lot of things to do. Sitting meditation, walking meditation, Dharma discussion, and then they have to help people who come to Plum Village to do the same. And then they have to supervise the cooking and welcoming. They have a lot of things. And they learn how not to be victims of stress. So you have learned. You see that many of us, although busy, we are still able to smile and to be fresh because we know how to release the tension from our body, and release the tension from our feelings. And when we come to Plum Village, we learn about releasing the tension in the body, in the feelings and so on. So those of us who have come to Plum Village for 1 week or 2 weeks, we have learned something about releasing the tension, the stress. So when we sit down and meet with other boys or girls in the school, we might like to discuss about how to deal with the stress. Yeah, you have time to play, of course, and you take about 15 minutes in order to sit down and discuss about this. That will benefit many people. And what you have learned in Plum Village, you can share with them. You walk in such a way, in Plum Village, every day you walk in such a way that you release the tension with every step. In Plum Village, we learn total relaxation. Everyone lie down and one person lead total relaxation. In Plum Village, we learn how to eat relaxingly. And you have learned these things in Plum Village, and you have a lot to share with your friends. Yeah. And maybe you go show them how to walk and release the tension with every step. For instance, when the school bus stop and you get down and you go into the school and you walk in such a way that every step can be releasing the tension. And you do that and you show other boys and girls. You see, I walk like this and I release the tension in my body so I don't get stressed during the class. You have to show them. But in order to show them, you need to be able to do it. And then and you can do things by yourself in order to help releasing tension and stress. And then together you sit down and write a question to your school teachers. You tell them what you are doing in order not to be victims of stress, and you ask him as how to have more relaxed, to have a more relaxed time during the teaching and learning. Just many wonderful things to do. Why not discuss about that this afternoon, or even this morning? It's very important. So the parents and the teachers can help, but we can help ourselves. And you have learned many things from Plum Village. You can put into practice when you go home, and you can share that to your fellow students. Thank you. Dear Sangha, you see the children, they ask very practical questions.
Why did you choose to make Plum Village?
Why do I choose to make Plum Village? Because I like it. I like to create a place where we can live relaxingly, peacefully, with joy, and welcome other people to come and live with us like that. There is peace. There is love, brotherhood, sisterhood, joy. And we learn how to be kind to each other, how to be pleasant to each other, how not to fight with our arms and not to fight with our mouth. It means we learn how to speak and how to do things in such a way that will not make the other person, the other people suffer. So Plum Village is a place where there is peace. You see, there are 1,000 people sitting here. It's not noisy, it's not violent, it's very peaceful. And there is love. We care for each other. And we are kind to each other, we are fresh to each other. So it's nice to make a Plum Village. And I hope that when you grow up, you will find the time to make a plum village somewhere. You think that you can do that? Good. She will create a plum village.
Dear Thai, how can I fast, go to sleep if I need to stand up the next day very early?
So I think our friend is asking, how can I get myself to sleep early? Because I know I have to wake up early the next day. How can I get to sleep quickly?
I don't think it's good to try to sleep quickly. The more you try, it's more difficult to sleep. Because when you try, you are making effort. So just allow our body to relax. And the good thing is to stop thinking. Stop thinking about tomorrow, what we have to do. If we keep thinking about what we will have to do tomorrow, and then we'll keep being awake all night. So do not think. Do not think is a very important practice of meditation. I think, therefore I cannot sleep. So not thinking is good, but in order to stop the thinking, you might like to focus your attention on your in-breath and your out-breath. You breathe in and you only focus your mind on your in-breath. Thầy has a trick so that he can share with you. On the table, table de nuit, Thầy has a clock, not electronic, the classical clock. And it makes tick-tock, tick-tock. So Thầy just listen to the sound of the clock. And and Thầy measure his in-breath with the sound. And usually Thầy breathe in, and it lasts 3 or 4 seconds. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And when he breathes out, it takes 6 seconds. And Thầy just enjoy lying down and listen to the sound of the clock and breathe in and out and stop all the thinking. And it's very, very pleasant to breathe if the air is good enough. And if you do not have a clock, and then you can use a song. You don't have to sing, because that song is in you. Like the song, I have arrived, I am home. in the here, in the now. Everyone in Plum Village know the song by heart. There are many songs of practice, and I have arrived. I'm home is the most popular song. So when you breathe in, you sing. You sing only in your mind and not your mouth. I have arrived. I am home. In the here, in the now. I am solid. I am free. That is not thinking. These words are only to focus. We have focus of attention on our breath. And if you breathe according to that song a few times, the sleep might come very easily. Anyway, that is the way Thầy does. He used some Dharma songs, and they are already there. Yeah, there is a kind of CD inside of you. And if you want any song, you don't have to push by your finger. You just use a kind of mental formation called manaskara. And then you touch it, you use your mind, you touch it, and the song will come, and you breathe in and out with that song. I think that will help many adults. If you think too much, then you might like to do that. You have many Dhamma songs, and you just breathe in and out according to the songs. If you drive your car, instead of thinking, you breathe in and out with these songs. Here is Pure Land, the Pure Land is here, is another song. How many Dhamma songs you have learned in Plum Village? I have arrived, and what else? Happiness is here and now, and so many songs. Yeah, the leaves of the same tree. Yeah. All these songs can be used, and only you can hear the song, because you are singing it inside of you. And you breathe in with one line, you breathe out with another line. Tonight, try. And you report to Thầy tomorrow, okay? The last question for the children.
If there is an end of the world, do you think that it is the end of everything?
The end of the world, the end of everything.
If there is an end, if you think there is an end of the world, will that be the end of everything?
This is the topic of the Dharma talk tomorrow. And on the surface of things, on the appearance, it looks like that there is a beginning and an end of everything. It looks like that. Everything has a beginning, everything has an end. It looks like that. But if we look deeply, we'll find that there's no beginning, there's no end. There's no birth, there's no death. And curiously enough, many scientists agree with that. There's a French scientist whose name is Lavoisier. He said, rien ne se crée, rien ne se perd. It means nothing is born, nothing dies. It means there's no beginning, there's no end. And those of us who have learned we know that the first law of thermodynamics tells us the same thing. You cannot create matter or energy. You cannot destroy matter or energy. So no creation, no destruction, no beginning, no end. So it is interesting that scientists, they also meditate in their own way, and sometimes they find exactly the same thing that practitioners of meditation found. So for the time being, it's good enough to know that on the appearance, it looks like there is a beginning and an end to everything. But if you look deeply, you find out that there is no beginning, there is no end. Take, for example, a cloud. When the cloud is not in the sky anymore, you think that that is the end of the cloud. But that is not true. The cloud continues always, although it is no longer in the form of a cloud, but it is always there in the form of rain, or snow, or ice. So you can look at the cloud, at the rain, and you say, "Ah, my beautiful cloud, I know that you are still there in the rain." And when you look at your tea, and you see, "Ah, my little cloud, you have not died, you have not disappeared, you are there in my tea." So that is the kind of insight that we get when we practice meditation, and we find out that nothing can die. It's impossible for a cloud to die. The same thing is true with your beloved one. You can no longer see him or her in her usual form, but she has not died. She's still around, and if you look deeply, you can recognize her continuation, his continuation, very close to you. It's not possible for a cloud to die. It's not possible for a man or a woman to die. It is impossible for the cosmos to become nothing. There is no Big Bang. There is no Big Crunch. Okay? The children, when you hear the small bell, please stand up and salute the Sangha before you go out and continue outside. The teenagers stay on. Bonne journée. Breathing in, I feel alive. Breathing out, I smile to life.
Cher Thai, comment te sens-tu lorsque tu es en pleine méditation?
Dear Thai, how do you feel when you are deep in meditation, fully meditating?
It depends on the kind of meditation that you are doing. Suppose you notice that a feeling of pain is coming up. The painful feeling is disturbing you, like a feeling of anger, sadness. You need meditation. And this is meditation on anger. There are many kinds of meditation. Meditation on love, on anger, on beginning, on ending, and many kind of meditations. So you cannot use the word meditation generally like that. In the case of a painful feeling, as a meditator, as a practitioner, you know how to practice mindful walking or mindful breathing in order to generate the energy of mindfulness. And with that energy of mindfulness, you recognize the painful feeling. Breathing in, I know there is a painful feeling in me. Breathing out, I smile to my painful feeling. And you embrace your painful feeling tenderly, like a mother embracing her baby. So your feeling is that there is, your feeling in that moment is that although there is a painful feeling in you, and you suffer, but there is also a feeling of peace, understanding in you at the same time, because your mindfulness is holding, embracing tenderly your painful feelings, so you suffer less. You suffer less during that time. And if you don't do meditation while you are a victim of your painful feeling, and you are under the domination of that feeling, you are overwhelmed that. So that is the meditation when you deal with a painful feeling or emotion. And if you sit down just to enjoy your body, meditation on your body, not on a feeling anymore, but on your body. You breathe in mindfully. You focus your attention on your in-breath only, and you release everything else, the past, the future, the projects. And you bring your mind home to your body. and you are suddenly aware that you have a body. A body. It's very nice to go home to your body. And when you are back to your body, you may notice that there is a tension in your body that makes you not happy. And therefore you want to release the tension in your body. So you practice breathing in. I'm aware of the tension in my body. And breathing out, I release the tension in my body. And while you are practicing like that, you feel better and better all the time. In the beginning, there is still some pain, some tension, but as you continue, the peace, the calm, the well-being increases. So you feel the feeling in you change like that for the better. So you have to learn many ways of meditation in order to deal with many states of mind and body. Okay?
Cher Thaïl, avez-vous déjà développé des théories à propos de l'univers?
Dear Thai, have you developed theories of the universe? Theories, théorie, theories of the universe. Have you developed theories of the universe?
No. I know that it's a waste of time to do these things. So I devote my time to doing more concrete things. And when you to come to Plum Village, you do not learn theories, even theories about meditation. You are given concrete practice of meditation so that you can change for the better your body, your feeling, your perceptions, and so on. There are many wrong perceptions. Everyone of us may be victims of wrong perceptions, and perceptions can bring wrong perceptions can bring a lot of suffering. And meditation is to calm down, to be more peaceful, and to see things more clearly, so that we can correct our wrong perceptions. Our wrong perceptions bring fear, anger, despair, and that is why we have to look deeply, and meditation is to look deeply, to correct our perceptions, so that we don't suffer and we don't make the other people suffer. This is a very important practical. And when you elaborate a theory about the cosmos, you usually use your mind, your intellect. And with the intellect, you cannot go very far, because our intellect might be caught in many prejudices, We have heard, we have learned things, and we believe in these things that we have learned. We are not able to release. So even scientists, many of them are caught in the preconceptions. And to be a true scientist means that you are ready to release what you already know in order to reach higher to the level of understanding. So I do not think that using the intellect to elaborate a theory about cosmos is very helpful. It takes a long time, and we do not have the time to do other things. Many scientists still continue to ask questions, why there is an universe, where the universe has come from, what happened when an end comes to the universe. So all these questions take away most of our time. And when you practice deep meditation, you might recognize, you might touch the truth of no beginning, no ending, and you can discard many of the questions that are not true, that are not necessary. And you don't lose your time because of these questions. And understanding is what we obtain with meditation. And that's understanding here is, first of all, understanding of the suffering in yourself and the suffering in the other person. Understanding suffering brings about compassion, and compassion has the power to heal you and heal the other person. These are very, very urgent. And understanding continues to grow. If you understand suffering, and then you come to understand happiness, and you see the connection between suffering and happiness, and you can go very far. You can understand that being and non-being are just notions. A beginning and ending are just notions that cannot be applied to reality. But the first understanding we have to get is understanding of suffering, and that is the starting point of the Buddhist tradition. Very practical. And if you don't suffer much anymore, your mind is calm, and you can understand things, understand things more easily and quickly.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, in many of your writings you refer to a mindful teacher. A man learned the practice of mindfulness, and so on his students' essays he wrote no longer, "What are you thinking? Very bad grade." Instead he wrote, "You do not understand and it is my fault." And this is a very empowering view for students. But I wonder, what does it mean to be a more mindful student? What are the responsibilities of a student towards a teacher and towards their own work?
mindfulness helps to deal with difficulties and problems, of course. But mindfulness can bring a lot of joy and happiness. And this part is very important. You learn mindfulness not only to deal with daily problems, difficulties, but first of all, you learn mindfulness in order to nourish yourself, to heal yourself. And this can be done right away. When you breathe in mindfully, mindfulness of breathing, if you do it skillfully, if you know how to do it, you find that breathing in is very pleasant. If you suffer during the in-breath, that's not really mindfulness. Mindfulness is the energy that helps you to know what is going on. And what is going on now is you are breathing in. And it can be very pleasant to breathe in. And mindfulness tells you that it's wonderful to breathe in. Because you are breathing in, therefore you are alive. You are still there. And to be alive is a miracle. And to get in touch with the wonders of life that are available in the here and the now is wonderful. So one in-breath can bring you a lot of joy and healing. And that in-breath should be pleasant in order for you to enjoy. And you nourish yourself, you heal yourself by breathing in like that, breathing out. Or when you practice walking meditation, you stop all the thinking and making a step with your left foot, you touch Mother Earth. It can bring you enlightenment. To be alive and to be walking on this beautiful planet is a wonder. And you are alive. And you are making one step on this beautiful planet, touching Mother Earth. So that can bring you happiness right away. You don't have to run into the future in order to get happiness. And while sitting and eating and washing the dishes or making breakfast, you practice mindfulness and you enjoy every moment. That is why we say that mindfulness is a source of joy and happiness. You don't need to run into the future to look for happiness. Mindfulness tells you that the kingdom of God, the pure land of Buddha, is available in the here and the now. So you can taste every moment that is giving you to live. So if students and teachers practice mindfulness, they should enjoy their time together. You can teach mindfully and enjoy your teaching. If you suffer while teaching, that's not good practice. So as a school teacher, you learn how to teach in such a way that there is a pleasure in teaching. And as students, you also practice like that. Learning is not to get a diploma in order to have a job later on. But the fact of learning, the act of learning should bring happiness. So teachers and students can sit together and discuss a strategy as how to be happy during the class for both. And you know that in Plum Village we have developed the program of Wake Up, Global Ethics. And we have been training many school teachers so that they can go and teach in that way in school. And they can help the students to enjoy learning. And teaching and learning will not become and will not be hard labor anymore for both sides. So inquire about that, especially the brothers, the monastic brothers in Plum Village, Thầy Pháp Dung and so on. They are working on this. They have given many course of trainings for school teachers in India, in Bhutan, in Thailand, in America, in England. And there are many school teachers who are trying to do that, making the classroom into a family where is that joy and brotherhood and sisterhood. So the students who have a chance to learn, if and practice with the teachers in order to make the work of learning and teaching agreeable, pleasant.
Sister Chai, please, Japanese translation.
We need a Japanese translator. Ông này là một ông thầy trong thần đạo. He's a priest in the Shinto tradition, Japanese. Suko Trai Nghiêm will translate for him.
Dear Tai, Dear Sangha, 私は日本から来ました。
Dear Tai, dear Sangha, I come from Japan.
富士山の神社の神主をしております。
I am a Shinto priest at the shrine at the foot of Mount Fuji.
日本の臨済禅を、実践しております。同時に臨済宗の座禅も、同時に実践しています。
At the same time, I'm also practicing Zazen in the Rinzai school, which is a Japanese Zen school.
日本人はあまり笑いません。
Japanese people don't laugh very often.
特に日本の臨済宗は出家して3年間白い歯を見せてはいけないと教えられます。
Especially in the Rinzai school, after you ordain the first 3 years, you should never show your teeth. It means you should never laugh.
そういう伝統で座禅する時もこう表情は消して、そして静寂で静止した状態であるテンションをずっと維持することを要求されます。
So the way I've been taught in the school is also when I practice Zazen meditation, I have to keep my face still, body still, and hold tension.
このテンションがある日本の文化の特徴でもあると私は思っています。
And this tension, I find it's also a quality, a characteristic of Japanese culture.
だけど私はこの微笑みとこうリラックスのプランベリジタイの教えが本当に大好きです。
But I love the practice and teaching of Plum Village, and I love the smiling of Plum Village very much.
あさってその笑わない国に帰らなければいけません。あさって。ええ。
Day after tomorrow, I have to return to the land of non-smiling.
その私の故郷の文化も私は大好きだし、このタイのプランビレッジも心から大好きです。この2つが自分の中にこう両立しているんですけれども、私が日本にこうプラムビレッジの微笑みを上手に持って帰ったら、日本の文化とプラムビレッジがもっと仲良くなると思うんですけれども、どうしたらいいでしょうか。
So I love this practice of Plum Village. I love smiling, but at the same time, I really cherish my own tradition of Japanese culture of non-smiling. So day after tomorrow, when I have to go back to Japan, I don't know how I can continue to practice in a way that I can combine these two different ways of practicing.
Combine したいね。I hope combine.
Okay.
I hope to combine.
How to combine Thai?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible. In the history of Zen Buddhism in Japan, there are many Zen masters who are capable of smiling. They enjoy the beauty of nature very much. In their writing, in their speaking, they have expressed a lot of love and appreciation for nature. And when you enjoy that much, you cannot refrain from smiling, even if nobody see you smiling. You can smile during the night. Nobody see you. And you know that smiling like that is not a diplomatic smile. Smiling and even laughing. I think many friends of us in Japan, they want to show that they are practice seriously. Of course, their intention is to succeed in the practice. You cannot do half practice. You have to practice wholeheartedly. You have to show your seriousness in practicing. And if you go a little bit too far, you become too solemn, too green. Some of us overdo it. It's good to practice seriously. We agree with them. We tell them that we agree that we have to practice seriously. But we should not overdo it, to become grim and tense and things like that. Because a good Buddha statue, a beautiful Buddha statue, always has a smile, a very light smile. So you can go home and tell your colleagues in the practice that there are two kinds of smile, two kinds of laugh. And there is, when you smile and you mindful smile, that's good. When you laugh, even if you laugh very loud, but if that is mindful, that is also good. When it is mindful, that's good. When it is not mindful, that's not good. So we should allow the good smile and good laugh to be accepted. So be a good teacher and bring mindful smiling, mindful laughing back into your tradition and make it more beautiful. Especially advise them to eat slowly. Because in the Soto tradition, they eat very quickly. We should be able to enjoy eating. Tell them to chew at least 30 times. 50 times is very good. Yeah. Thank you. This one. And shall we invite them?
We'd like to invite Ms. Martin, Natalia Martin, to ask the question for El País. Yeah.
She has the right to ask how many questions?
One, two.
The middle way.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, this is a question that I think reflects the interest of many Spaniards at this moment. As you know, we have an unemployment rate of close to 25% and a huge political crisis. So I would like to know how the teachings can help us, not only individually, but society.
There are those of us who have lost our job, who have not much to spend, much money to spend. But we manage to live happily also. We know that there are those who have a job, there are those who have enough money, but they suffer. They still suffer. So our happiness does not depend entirely on having a job or having enough money, or even a political stability in a country. Because in any circumstance, the practice of mindfulness can help us suffer less. And we are able also to create moments of joy and happiness if we know how to. Because there are many conditions of happiness. And job, money, political stability are only a few of them. And practicing mindfulness, we can protect ourselves from despair, from anger, from frustration. First of all, we recognize that we are still luckier than many other people in the world. There are many people in many countries who spend less than $1 a day. They live in extreme poverty. but they still have moments of joy together. And we have to observe if their family is still together, if they can still talk to each other and can discuss with each other how to improve the situation, and that they don't suffer as much as those who have more money. So mindfulness, as we have learned here in Plum Village, help us to recognize that there are so many conditions of happiness available in the here and the now. Having a body with with no serious disease is already happiness. And mindfulness helps us to be aware of that, and that is a condition of happiness. Many people who are rich but do not have a body like that. So recognizing these conditions of happiness can help us not to suffer too much and bring joy and happiness to us. So if you manage to live mindfully and retain your calm, your peace, your joy, you help the country to restart again. And if you lose your hope, if you lose your joy, if you are caught by your anger, your fear, your frustration, you make the situation worse in your country, and your country will not have a chance to recover, to get a new start. So have to sit down and find out what kind of practice that can help us keep the hope, keep compassion, keep the joy of living, so that we can improve the situation day by day.
My other question regards the use of media in general. I wonder if one can be mindful while at the same time one is being connected, as most of us are today, nowadays, to the social media, smartphone applications, etc. And I also wonder how is this affecting our deep listening skills?
We believe that the smartphones and the internet, the emails can help us connect with each other, but communication has become more difficult even with these devices, electronic devices. Even if we hear the news several times a day, even if we communicate with each other several times a day, that does not mean that real communication is possible. We still do not understand each other. We still do not understand the suffering and difficulties of others. We still continue to blame on each other. So many electronic devices are helping us to get away from ourselves. And do not give us a chance to be with ourselves. There is suffering, there is fear, anger in ourselves, and you do not have the time and the way to handle the suffering inside of us. we cannot communicate with ourselves. In fact, we are trying to run away from ourselves. We cannot listen to ourselves. We cannot help ourselves to suffer less. So how can we understand another person and help him or her suffer less? Even if we have a lot of electronic devices. So that is why mindfulness is very important. It helps us to release the tension in our body. It helps us to go home to ourselves without fear in order to recognize the suffering inside, embrace it, and begin to understand it. Understanding our suffering, we understand the suffering of our father, our mother, our ancestors, our people. And that understanding brings about compassion that has the power to heal, to transform. And when we get lighter, when we get healed, we can help other people around us to do the same, to get the healing and transformation. And we can do that without any electronic devices. The power to listen, to understand, and to restore communication and reconcile is possible. When you understand your own suffering, you reconcile with yourself easily. You reconcile with your father, your mother, and your ancestors easily, because your suffering carries within itself the suffering of your father, mother, and ancestors. And when you understand your suffering, when you have reconciled with yourself, and then it's much easier to understand the suffering of the other person of the world and reconcile with them. When you look at them, you are capable of seeing the suffering in them. They do not have the capacity to handle the suffering. They continue to suffer, and that is why they make people around them suffer. Even the people around them are those they love. So when you look at them, and if you see their suffering, that so far there is no one who has helped them to handle the suffering in him or in her, suddenly understanding arises in you, and compassion is born in you. And you can look at him or her with compassion. You don't suffer anymore. You want to do something to help that person suffer less. You want to say something to help him or her suffer less, because you have some amount of compassion within yourself. And with compassion in your heart, you can talk to him or to her in such a way that can help him or her suffer less. You can say, darling, my friend, I know that you have suffered a lot in the past many years. There's a lot of suffering in you. There's a lot of difficulties in you. And in the past, I have not been able to help you to suffer less. In fact, I have reacted angrily and with stubbornness that make you suffer more. I'm sorry. It's not my intention to make you suffer, my dear. It's just because I did not see the suffering in you. I did not understand the suffering in you, the difficulties in you. So please, darling, help me. Tell me what is in your heart. Tell me about your suffering, your difficulties, so that I will understand. I believe that if I understand your suffering, I will not react the way I have in the past and make you suffer anymore. Please help me. Tell me what is your heart. That kind of speaking we call a loving speech. And you can do that if you have compassion in your heart. And compassion is possible when you understand the suffering in that person. And when you speak like that, the other person will open his heart to you. With the tool of loving speech, you can open the heart of the other person, and she will tell you the suffering, the difficulties in her. And then you practice deep listening and compassionate listening. And when you listen with compassion, you help the other person suffer less. 1 hour of compassionate listening can help someone suffer much less. And you may be the first person in the world who listens to him or to her. You are a bodhisattva of deep listening. You are Avalokiteshvara. And listen with compassion, you have to learn in order to do. While you listen, where you sit and listen, you have to keep compassion alive in your heart in order to do so. Because while speaking, the other person may have a lot of bitterness, accusation, or blaming, and that may touch off the irritation, the anger in you, and you lose the capacity of listening. So you have to train yourself for many days. When you listen to him or to her, you have to practice mindful breathing and remind yourself that the purpose of listening to that person is only to help him or her suffer less. So even if what the other person says is full of wrong perception, you will not interrupt and correct, because that will ruin the session. You tell yourself that, well, he's full of wrong perceptions, full of bitterness and anger, but I am not going to interrupt him. I just listen to help him to suffer less. And several days later, I might provide him or her with some information so that he can correct his perception, and not now. So breathing in and out, and remember that, keep your compassion alive, and you can listen for 1 hour or more with compassion. That can be very healing. And according to our experiences, practicing 4 or 5 days of mindful breathing and looking into the suffering of yourself and of the other person can already allow you to practice deep listening, compassionate listening, and loving speech. Because we have organized so many retreats in the world. And in every retreat, people learn the art of deep listening and loving speech. And the miracle of reconciliation always happens in our retreats. On the 5th day, they have to put into the practice the teaching of deep listening and loving speech. And if the other person is in the retreat, that is easy. But if the other person is at home, and then you can use your telephone in order to practice loving speech and deep listening. And in our experiences, many have used their phone and reconcile with the father, with the mother at home after the retreat. It's very effective, the practice of loving speech and deep listening. And that is the object of the 4th mindfulness training that many of us have received from the Sangha. This is the art of restoring communication. That is the art of reconciling. And you don't need a lot of electronic devices. You need only your in-breath, your out-breath, your capacity of looking deeply into your own suffering, into the suffering of the other person. And finally, you need loving speech, tender speech, and deep listening, compassionate listening, and you can transform the whole situation in just a few days. Dear friends, after this Dhamma question and answers, we will do walking meditation together as a group. We go to the wood. We should bring along our lunch. And we have mindful lunch together in the poplar grove. I will be having lunch with you today. So when you hear the bell, please come to the bell tower. I will sing a few songs before we start walking meditation. Enjoy your day. This is a happy moment, a happy day.
Dear friends, after Thai has left the hall, there will be announcements, so please leave your headphones plugged in, and please sit back down after our teacher has left the hall. Thank you.